I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. What is up, guys? It is TheCitrusPanda here today. Or you can call me Jake. Doesn't matter. Either way. And I'm going to be starting my anime review series today. So, if you have any suggestions, just leave them down in the comment section below. I do have a list that I'm going to be using for a while. I have like 5 or 6 animes that I want to review in the future. And I'll talk more about that at the end of the video. But, basically, I want to talk about one today. And it's called School Days. Now, it's been out for a while, and a lot of people have told me time and time again, and they're like, dude, you gotta watch this anime. And I'm like, no, I don't really want to watch it. It's like, it's more like a harem, and it's like kind of weird. But I've actually gotten into anime, like any genre of anime. I just kind of like, nah, I'll just watch any genre. So I'm like, hey, I'll try it out. But, mistake on this one. A lot of people say it's really messed up, and the ending is boom, mind-blowing. I agree. It's basically centered around Matsuko, Sekai, and Katsura. We're going to refer to them by those 3 names, not first names and last names, just those names. Okay, so we don't get confused. But it starts out as Matsuko likes Katsura, and he rides the train with her every single day, and he ends up taking a picture with a picture of her on his phone. So then in class, Sekai is his seatmate, I guess you'd call her. She sits at the same seat as him, and she sees the picture, and she says, do you like her or whatever? And he says, yeah. And then Sekai makes it her mission to set up Katsura and Matsuko. It starts out, that was episode 1, it was, I thought, wow, this isn't actually that bad. It's more like a high school love, drama, fest, romance thing, and it's not that bad. And then it got to episode 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then I'm like, what is happening? And there's 5, then 6, and then it got to 12, and I'm like, no, what did I just watch? And, yeah, I don't want to get spoilers right now, but I want to talk about some other things before I get into spoilers. Basically, he just starts getting taken over almost by his desires and things, and he pretty much just starts kind of cheating on his girlfriend, which is Katsura, and basically trouble ensues, you know, and it just starts not making that much sense. So, let's get into spoilers so we can actually talk about something interesting here. Now, basically, by the end of the series, Matsuko probably has slept with every female character in the cast, excluding Katsura, and like maybe 1 or 2 other females, to be honest with you. He pretty much has. So, pretty much, if you see that girl that you've probably never seen before, you'll see him wake up in the bed. Like, you see like this one girl that, I mean, you see her every once in a while, but not very often, and then she just gets out of Matsuko's bed. Like, where did she come from? Did you just, like, have sex with everybody? Apparently he does. Apparently he does. At some point during the anime, 3 girls line up outside his door. I'm literally telling you this because it's true. It's like, why? They made it their goal in this anime to make Matsuko the biggest pervert and the just most douchebag guy you'll ever meet in any anime. I don't care what you say, he's probably the worst character in anime ever. You name a character, Matsuko is probably, most likely, worse than that character you're about to name. And I mean, no, he's not the main villain. Well, maybe he probably is, but, you know, you might hate a villain from this anime, but this guy is worse. He's worse, and I gotta use my hand on the table because I have to emphasize this point. Now, basically, Sekai starts to like Matsuko, and then they have, quote-unquote, special training for dates with Katsura, which ends up Matsuko starting to like Sekai. However, although he starts to like Sekai, and then starts going out with her, and then really avoids Katsura, he should have just broken up with Katsura. I don't know why he didn't. He just didn't. He just kept on going with Sekai. And then he just started cheating on everybody. He dated that girl that he knew from middle school. Heck, he did it with Setsuna. I mean, there's pretty much, it turned into a love triangle that could have been a pretty good anime. Into a love octagon. I don't know why he had to do that. I mean, if it was just Sekai and Katsura, it wouldn't be that bad. It would be pretty dang good, probably. but they just ran out of material and made this guy out to be the worst guy ever. In the first episode, he seems to be not like bad of a guy. You just kind of consider he's a normal high schooler. But even a normal high schooler, I mean, by episode, like, 7 and 8 and stuff, a normal high schooler, even if they're in their first year, and then they're naive, and they're stupid, and they're dumb, but nobody could take it that far. They would understand that wow, I've crossed the line. I need to back up. Not Matsuko. No, he just says, full steam ahead. Just go with it. I don't care anymore. Just go with it. And the ending, a lot of people say they had it coming. Now, I was just so mad at the ending. Because although I hated him so much, I really wanted him to learn something from it. Like, maybe both of them break up with him, or something bad happens of it. I did not expect what happened to happen. Except for the fact that I saw this thing and it was like blood and gore. And I was waiting for blood and gore to happen, but it never happened. And then in the last episode, it happened. Basically, he starts getting back together with Katsura in episode 11. And with Sekai being pregnant, he just doesn't want to do anything with her anymore. She's actually not pregnant, although that's debatable. Some people say she was actually pregnant, but Katsura was wrong, or whatever. But we'll get into that later. But most likely she wasn't pregnant, but she lied about it. And Matsuko didn't know that. She thought she was being serious. So he goes back together with Katsura. But anyway, Sekai told Matsuko to come, well, not to come over to her house, but for him, see if she could come over to his house after school. So she does. And then, it's really awkward for them. But then she says, I'll go make tea. And then she texts Matsuko on his phone. So he gets a text. He goes into his room. He flips up his phone. And it says, sorry. And he's like, well, what is this? It's from Sekai. And he keeps on scrolling down. You can hear the hot tea, like, wailing in the background. Almost like screaming. And then it says, sorry. And he's kind of like questioning, like, what the heck? So you see him turn around. And there she is, standing with a knife. Sekai comes up. Whoosh, just stabs him right in the stomach. He falls down. She says, you're so cruel. And then stabs him in the spinal cord with a knife. And it's just so graphic. She stabs him like 8 or 9 times. It was so unexpected. But the fact that I knew there was going to be blood and gore, I figured something would happen. Like one of them would commit suicide. But not this. If that weren't enough, oh my god. Katsura calls up Sekai, or maybe emails her, I forget. And it says, meet me at the school roof. So she does. And then she's like, you were lying about being pregnant, weren't you? Just to get Matsuko's attention and all that stuff. Meanwhile, Katsura cut off Matsuko's head and put it in a bag and brought it with her. And then showed it to Sekai. Sekai's like, oh no! The person you just killed a little while ago. And basically, trouble ensues. Katsura says, we'll check that out, like, to see if she's actually pregnant. Stabs Sekai in the stomach. And then it ends with you looking up through Sekai's stomach that's, like, cut open. And she's like, I knew you were lying. Katsura said, like, I knew you were lying. And again, I don't know if she was pregnant or not. It never actually does address that fact. But anyways, so then it ends with Katsura on a boat, or a yacht, rather, with Matsuko's head. And she says, we're finally together. Katsura is insane. The only characters that I really cared for in the series, honestly, by the end, like, you start out, Matsuko wasn't that bad, Sekai wasn't too bad, Katsura was okay, Setsuno was okay, but in the end, I like nobody, except maybe Setsuno, because she didn't really do that much, except, yeah, she was in bed with Matsuko, but who wasn't in that show? Who wasn't? And Katsura, I kind of felt bad for Katsura, like, the whole time. I'm like, what are you doing, you idiot? Like, she was just about, like, opening up to you and stuff, and then you go and just, like, cheat on her. I really felt bad for her, but you could tell that she was definitely going insane. She had something wrong with her. Like, she started, like, talking on the phone when he wasn't even there. She started, like, thinking that, oh, he's my boyfriend, even when she saw him with other girls. In the end, pretty much everybody was crazy. I can't like Sekai because she's a murderer, really. And some people are like, oh, they got what they deserved. Well, I think that it would have been better to learn a lesson from all this, possibly. But that's just my idea. So, anyhow, that's pretty much it for this review. Pretty messed up anime. Now, if anything, I really liked to put it this way to you guys. I'm going to give this anime a 5 out of 10. And everybody's going to be like, gasp! A 5 out of 10? Oh, whoa. Slow down. And I'm like, it's not an anime that I would recommend to many people. You know? First of all, it's not for everybody. It's not like a shonen boys show. But it's like basically an experience that you have to watch the whole thing. I mean, some people would just say, I'll go watch the ending. You could do that. But you wouldn't get the full effect of hating everybody. And you'd probably just be really sad at the ending. But really, if you watch the whole thing, it basically addresses the psychological aspect of cheating, which no really anime does a lot. And I like how they did that. But they could have made it better. They didn't. So that's pretty much it. More anime reviews to come. Hope you guys enjoyed this first one, and I will see you later. Boom!